Well, good evening, all. Ira Epstein with your Spider ETF stock market wrap-up, and this wrap-up is for a bloody day. It is Thursday, November 20th, 2025, and just look behind me. It's not even much of a Christmas. I mean, we have a green right here and a bond. You got to look far and few between. XLP was up a little bit today. Tell me what else you see, because I might be missing it. I've got camera lights in front of me, but I think that's about it. The key last night was working. Palantir, I said that wrong. Nvidia up. I'm thinking Palantir and the others today that all got a lot of things happening. Nvidia up, opened the day up around 196. If we take a look at where that market was, 195.95, and that was it. But the opening was the high. Market started slipping. I didn't pay attention for the first hour and a half or so very much. And all of a sudden I'm looking and I see that we're at 190 and I'm going, there's something not right. Why is this stock slipping back? Why do they keep pushing it? And of course, anything related to it caught traders. What do I mean by that? A lot of people back end Nvidia. So if it's good, what about everybody it's doing business with? I think I should buy them, because they're already up the 5-7% at night. Why not jump on top of the train the other way? And that's what I think happened. And then as things started rolling over, it just started feeding on itself. Now, I can tell you the stock indices and the futures are up tonight, but I wouldn't give you 2 cents for it. And the reason is it just a bounce off a market that got oversold? Whatever. I think that what you want to look at are the highs that were made today in markets that saw reversals. And once those highs are taken out, I think the correction has run its course. And until that happens, as a chartist, however deep it wants to correct, it corrects. And you'll hear people saying, well, I've wanted to buy a break. Well, this is it. I'm watching Kramer on there. He began saying that a week ago. All right, well, he's getting all the breaks that he wants to get. I agree with him often on what he says in terms of his fundamental analysis. Chart-wise, I'm not always in his camp at all. But right now, it's difficult. I like gold here. I'm probably the only guy out there telling you that, hey, I told my clients today that the one market they could nibble into was GLD. I'll probably be wrong tomorrow. But that was the new trade, and everything else that they're in, and I have clients that are in Boeing and that, but they're in nice low prices too. But we're giving back money, and if you don't think this is a time where you give back money, boy, are you wrong. This happens. Corrections take place. They come out of left field. You never know how deep they're going to go. When you try to rationalize it, you're wasting your time. Markets don't need reasons all the time. I think if you were to ask me the biggest thing that's going on, you're getting valuations back into an area that soon you'll attract buyers. That's what I think's going on. Do I know where that number is? No. So when we take a look together, like at a company like Alcoa, which I just started covering, here's one of those examples that I want to tell you. When and if this high of today is taken out, I'll get interested. But right now, when I look at it, the chart is bearish. Lower highs, lower lows. The battleground is the 18-day average of closes. If the market wants to drop more, the first support's the lower Bollinger Band. If you take out today's high, I think you laid a bear trap in the market. And then I look for wherever the upper Bollinger Band is, and you're already oversold. When we come over to XRP, you have an outside day down again. Okay, I'm going to stick with my story. If you take out today's high, it'd be a sign to me, maybe you don't want to be short anymore. You're oversold, you're at the Bollinger Band. I'll let somebody else want to press that. I'm not saying these markets are buys. You're not hearing that from me. I'm saying many of them aren't short sales. Oversold. You went to the Bollinger Band, couldn't take it out, and didn't have one of those outside days. So Dutch Brothers, still down, but didn't catch the, if you will, the wave of selling. Roku did. Another market with the outside day down, came down with this. Let somebody else want to own it. Okay. People are panicking. This is a market, for example, that was just in the 116 area, and you're down $20 from there. All right? Did the company change that much? What went on? I don't know. I know the chart action changed, and I know that as a chartist, once it got under the 18-day average, automatically my bias had turned to the downside, and explain that to you all the time. I also explained that oversold markets, from my point of view, when they're not embedded, they're oversold. I'll let somebody else want to play that game. I am not a bottom picker. I'm a chartist. As a chartist, I'm trying to catch trades or swing line trades or the swings in a market or long-term investment. Bollinger Bands generally turn out to be a point, I'm just making it on Roku, where it offers major support. We'll see if that happens again. Same thing in Netflix. Now, Netflix, we know that they're leaning there. They wanted to buy Warner Brothers. They're in a bidding war for it. They were down 4% today. But the work that you and I have here, we have sideways action, lower low, higher high, caught in the Bollinger Bands. We've seen that. I've mentioned it to you. Uber. I'm very surprised at how much Uber has lost. But now you're down to an $83 level. This is just a market that was pushing 100, right? You know you were doing it back over here. So you've come down quite a ways in these markets. Are we under the Bollinger Band? For the first time. How long do you stay under it? 5% of the time. Are you oversold? Yep. Are you embedded? Not yet. You'd have to have 3 days in a row where the blue and the red stay under the 20 level. You got 1 day. Then we come to Tesla. Well, Tesla has joined the party today of selling. It tried the upside early on, and as you could see, it couldn't make it to the 18-day average of closes. It's been oversold. It's bounced away from the Bollinger Band, and I haven't changed my opinion. I still think the 380.30 to 385.23 is the support zone in the market, but not a buy zone. Support zone, big difference. Joby can't get itself off the ground. Big outside day. So I'm going to repeat. Take out today's high, I get interested. Now, if you take out today's high on outside days within 2 days, not a week later, within I call it days because we're on a daily chart. If we're a 15-minute chart, 2 15-minute sessions, 2 weeks, whatever your time frame of your chart. If you take that out, it's generally a trap that you've laid if it's an outside day down on the bears. In the financial sector, same thing. Identical play. And generally the goal is, if you take it out, you go back to the closest moving average. So we'll see if any of that happens. Same thing in XLI. So it's market after market after market did the same thing. Most are in oversold conditions, not embedding. XLE, well, if we take a look at what this market did, look at how it came unglued. These are big moves. These aren't little bitty moves. These were pretty big moves the market did. I don't know if I'm right or wrong on GLD. I know where the stop should be. I think the market's got support here at the 18-day average. The futures are up about $10, $15 tonight. We'll see if this market can play with it. It didn't break as hard as the futures did. That's all. But in order for me to be really right, what number do I have to see taken out? I have to have that 380 level taken out, which is the high of Wednesday. Barring that, if you get back under this recent low, 358.51, bye-bye. Let somebody else own it. Palantir was on my mind as I started this off because another one of these outside days, and I was wondering what was going to happen. At first I thought, well, now we've got the control where the market's able to get and stay over that 100-day average. That lasted about 20 minutes, and then the market just let go again. Very rough day. Microsoft, look at this. This is a chart that's coming here from the 555 level, and it's now down about $80. I mean, that's really a big break that this market has had, and it failed at the 100-day average. Once it's got under the 18, and I know people don't understand the play with moving averages, but that gives you your bias down. And even if you get buy signals in other ways, when the bias is down, it teaches me, having been a terrible airplane pilot in my life, and I was probably the worst guy to ever do all that. But the one thing I was smart at, you don't take off in the plane until you've done your check of everything. You don't take off and then, oh, let me bring out my checklist. Everything's on the ground. Same thing here. And you have a market, never throw out a buy signal. Plenty of reasons not to be short. I am not sitting here saying, I saw this coming. This was such an easy day. I'm saying the opposite, okay? I didn't see this coming. Sooner or later it could have happened, but I was thinking that we'd already seen the break. And we hadn't. I know what numbers I'm looking for reversals, but haven't seen them. Now here's something that's strong, but notice where it's stopping. The dollar went right up to the upper Bollinger Band. It's hard to get through that number. I'm surprised we didn't make a run yet to the lower band in FXC. You may not, but the trend is down. It's been down since yesterday. It didn't go anywhere today. Sometimes when everything around you fails and you don't go down, just a sign maybe you don't want to play. I'm not seeing that yet, though. I'm seeing the bears in control, momentum still down. So you put it together and you just get days like this. And you have to look at them and go, okay, what do I do with it? I at least have the game plan. I know what to look for on the days that have this big reversal down and what it would mean to me. And I'm talking outside days to the downside. That's what I was looking at today. And all it does is set up what might happen by Monday or tomorrow if you took out those highs. I don't know. But right here, nah, this is not the place other than from what I can see other than gold that I like. And even then, do you have to be in anything is the question, or do you just ride out what you have and let this phase run itself out? That's probably the smartest move going into the weekend. I'm Ira Epstein. I hope you like this video. Remember, you can move your cursor to the top here. You can get to our website for our free offers. You can move up there. There's another icon if you're watching on YouTube. Watch the other videos, and I'll see you first thing in the morning. Take care.